Hello everyone, welcome back to Fantasy Football Fix. My name's FPL Phillips and welcome back to your latest instalment of your quick guide. And this is where we'll be looking at the top captaincy picks and the best predicted point scorers ahead of game week 7. And then looking a bit in advance as well to some of the best teams to target with the strongest upcoming fixtures over the next couple of game weeks and so. And all this together will be able to give you the best captaincy pick to go for and also taking a look at some of the top players that you can be bringing into your FPL team. So captaincy and transfers both covered in this video for you guys. So leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy. But let's get into it, shall we, and have a look at your quick guide to a green arrow in game week 7. We always kick things off by looking at the top captain picks then, and really over the last couple of weeks I've been quite set on captaining Erling Haaland. That's been the guy I've recommended for you guys watching, and it's worked out quite well, whereas this week I'm in a much tougher predicament as to who to go for between Mohamed Salah, Erling Haaland and Jesus, who you can see on screen right now. And if you're watching for the first time and haven't seen this before, this is the kind of captaincy matrix that we've put together for these videos, and all the data is taken from various different tools over on the Fantasy Football Fix website, so head over to the links down below in the description to check out those tools for yourself and get access to all that data regarding every single player in the game. And the first row we like to look at is the predicted points tool, and Mohamed Salah is coming out on top this week with 6.3 predicted points ahead of Haaland and Jesus on 6.1 and 5.5 respectively. And then we're looking at ownership, and Erling Haaland's actually overtaken Gabriel Jesus in terms of ownership, up at 81.5% now. But what I really like to look at is the big captain data reveal, which is released nearer the deadline when the calculations have been done and effective ownership can be predicted. And of course, effective ownership is what really affects your rank and the players around you, who are they captaining. That's what you really want to know about, and that'll be out on Friday or around the deadline, so make sure to go and check that out. It's over on the website, of course. And then we're looking at the fixture difficulty and the stats over the 22-23 season so far. So all three are playing home games this week: Salah against Wolves, Haaland against Tottenham and Gabriel Jesus against Everton. And the weakest defence out of those three is determined by the opponent expected goals conceded so far this season, and Everton seem to be the weakest defence out of the three, with 1.52 expected goals conceded per 90 over the 22-23 campaign so far. Tottenham, unsurprisingly, seem the toughest of the three defences, with 0.85 over the first 6 game weeks averaged. And yeah, in terms of the expected FPL points for the individuals, however, Erling Haaland is the one who leads the way with 10.1 expected FPL points per 90 for the Man City striker. So that's a very, very impressive number, quite a distance ahead of Salah in second on 6.2 and Jesus around 5.7 if you round up as well. So Erling Haaland looks very hard to take the captain's armband off at the moment, especially when Manchester City as an attack look like the strongest team as well. And that's from looking at the expected goals of Manchester City. When we compare that to Arsenal on 2.04 and Liverpool on 1.99, they seem to be the strongest of the three attacks to target. So who would I be putting the captain's armband on this week? Really, that's what you want to know. I'm still undecided, but I am leaning towards going for Erling Haaland. I know he started in the Champions League, but I don't really see him being benched for this game against Tottenham. And I think it's very difficult, unless Salah or Jesus is playing one of the weakest defences in the league, like a Bournemouth, like a Nottingham Forest. I think it's very hard to remove the captain's armband from Erling Haaland if he's looking likely to start. So I'm leaning towards captaining the Norwegian. Mohamed Salah, Wolves aren't even that weak of a defence. They've not conceded that many goals so far this season. I think they've got 3 clean sheets so far, so I'm going to put the armband on Erling Haaland over him, to be honest. I'd probably be more likely to stick it on Gabriel Jesus over Mohamed Salah even, but let me know who you're captaining down below in the comments. I'm assuming that Salah will be quite a popular captain option this week, and it's definitely not without good reason. It's so tight to pick between the three of them. Unfortunately, I can't give you as much of a confident answer as I have been able to in recent weeks. But when we look at the predicted points that we saw in that first row over the top 10 players in total, we can see that Haaland and Salah are actually up there now. This data's been slightly outdated, so Haaland and Salah on 6.6 now as of today. That data was slightly outdated from yesterday, so Haaland and Salah are actually tied for the game week 7 predicted points now. Kevin De Bruyne on 5.7 and Trent Alexander-Arnold on 5.4 make up the rest of the top 4, with Jesus now slightly adjusted down to 5.1 on the predicted points metrics. So De Bruyne and Trent looking like good options. I know a lot of people have lost patience with Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I definitely think it's worth hanging on to him. Wolves haven't scored many goals so far this season. They've looked like a decent defence, but a pretty poor attack. So you bank on Trent hopefully getting a clean sheet in that game for Liverpool. I know they haven't looked like a brilliant defence, but you'd still be hopeful of at least 6 points in that one. And we all know, of course, the attacking threat that Trent Alexander-Arnold still has in terms of attempted assists, big chances created that I looked at over on the Optastats section of the website. He's very good. He's in second for attempted assists and also in the top 5 for big chances created as well. So very, very impressive underlying data still. I know the 7.5 million price tag will be what's thinking a lot of people I can get better money out of that in different areas of my team. Martinelli, Robertson, Harrison, Alisson and then Vardy are the rest of the players that make up the top 10, and Robertson is in there as well. So both Liverpool fullbacks making the top 10 on 4.9 predicted points. Robertson is, which is interesting to see. A lot of people looking to jump ship on Robbo. I'll be waiting off for one more week on my own personal side for this reason, and the fact that, yeah, as mentioned, they have a quite nice fixture for clean sheet potential against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Harrison's an interesting one, of course. Leeds going up against Nottingham Forest. If you fancy a punt this week, I probably wouldn't go for Harrison out of the Leeds midfielders. I more prefer the look of going for Sinistera if I were to pick one of the Leeds midfielders. But we've got under the goalkeeper in, and just emphasising how good that clean sheet potential is. Alisson does make the top 10, even though he is a goalkeeper, and probably won't have much potential for bonus or save points this week if Wolves aren't going forward and getting as many shots off as you would expect other teams to do. Jamie Vardy, interesting to get in there. He's an avoid for me, as we mentioned with Harrison. I wouldn't bring Alisson in either. Martinelli and Robertson are, of course, holds if you already own them. I think Martinelli is going to offer some of the best value throughout the season and will probably be one of the players in my side at the moment that I'm looking will probably not even leave my team at all for the rest of the season. But then finally, we're going to touch on those upcoming fixtures ahead of the next couple of game weeks, and we can look at this using the fixture analyzer over on the website from both an attacking and a defensive perspective. And we can see that Aston Villa coming out on top and Leon Bailey re-emerging as an option after a few price drops, taking him down all the way to 4.7 million in price. So very interesting and a very decent option he could be over the next couple of game weeks, or if you're going on a wild card, he could be a very nice bench option to even go for and maybe start him for some of those nice fixtures if he is looking likely to be in the starting 11. Nottingham Forest and Leicester I'll probably be avoiding as attacks, to be honest. Maybe James Maddison could make his way into my side if I were on a wild card or around my game week 9 wild card, where of course Leicester face Nottingham Forest, which is one of the best defences you can target for your players playing against in the league. Manchester City in there as well. We already know about them and how good their attack is, and Erling Haaland will of course be the standout option for some of those games. Even with Tottenham, Manchester United in there, they're still ranking very high on the attacking fixture difficulty rankings. And then Newcastle as well. So a lot of people looking at bringing in Alexander Isak. This is a good sign for that. Bournemouth, Fulham and Brentford in the next 3, as well as West Ham United, is not a bad set of fixtures at all. And then finally, from the defensive aspect, West Ham United are up there. So if you're looking for a 4.0 million defender on your wildcard, then perhaps the new signing Emerson could be the one to go for over the likes of Patterson and Nico Williams, who have been popular options so far this season. Definitely one to consider. We've then got Leicester in there, who, to be honest, I'd definitely be avoiding. The fixtures are nice, but Leicester as a whole look absolutely shambolic as a defence. Definitely would be avoiding them. We've then got Manchester City in there, so hold on to Cancelo for now would be my advice. Those fixtures look pretty good, and Cancelo, although he's not got the best underlying data, he has still got good stats from those kind of big chances created and attempted assist point of view. He's the one all the way up there with Trent Alexander-Arnold, so I'll be keeping hold of the Portugueseman for now. Leeds are in there as well. I probably wouldn't be going for any of their defenders, but Newcastle is definitely one I'm going to be targeting there, down at the bottom in 5th for best defensive fixtures over the next couple of game weeks. So Nick Pope looks a brilliant option. Trippier looks a fantastic pick as well. I'll be looking to bring in one of those, if not both of them, in the near future into my side. But I hope this has helped you out with your transfer thoughts and your captaincy a little bit. I know I've been a bit indecisive on it this week, but I really just can't split it. As mentioned, I'm leaning towards Haaland, and those are some of the players that I've mentioned that I'm looking to target and bring into my side over the next couple of game weeks. Leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this week's episode of Your Quick Guide, and until then, I'll see you very soon for Eddie versus the Algorithm tomorrow. Goodbye.